Hey guys, going on here? There's another video that I want to do, and we're going to talk about optimization with campaigns. And this is basically the core business of your campaigns or affiliate campaigns, ad campaigns, or whatnot. And since we're stuck inside still, I got one of my buddies to talk about one of their tools and the tools that I've been using as well to talk about why campaign optimization is important, what are the nuisance of campaign optimization, what things can you automate, what is the future of marketing online, and all that other stuff. So this will be a full discussion on actually digging deep into what your campaign should be doing, and the rules you kind of want to think about while creating your campaign or optimizing it. So I want you to, Losid, go ahead and introduce yourself. And I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yes, yeah, you're saying it right.
Okay.
It's Losid.
Yeah,
So
Losid.
first of all, thanks for having me here. I'm the CMO at theOptimizer.io. Maybe most of the guys have heard of it already, or may have already played around with the platform. We're in the market for almost 3 years now. Like it's more than 2.5 years from our first beta release, and during this time, we've seen quite a lot of guys having the need to automate most of their campaign optimization stuff, because by the end of the day, you only have 24 hours. So on those 24 hours, you have to sleep, you have to live, you have to take care of quite a lot of things. So definitely, it's something that adds quite a lot of value to your time and efforts on making things work.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I mean, this is where, as an affiliate marketer, this is where the creativity comes in and the thought process of thinking, oh, did this creative doing better than creative two? I'm just negative 5% on a one creative. Can I continue spending and will it match my creative one? So this is where the affiliate or marketer have to think about, okay, all these sequence of data points, right? Can I optimize it even more by either increasing CPCs, lowering CPCs, blocking certain widgets, turning off certain keywords, etc. And the optimizer, I've been using it past 4 months, I think, or since basically affiliate world, Asia of 2019, and it's been pretty good. I mean, sometimes it worked a little too good where I'm sleeping and it just turned off a bunch of my creatives because it either received too much traffic and then it just decided, hey, it needs to turn off. Where it's like, oh, okay, I need to set some different budgets on these. So, why do you think the optimization part for affiliate marketers is the hardest part and the most time consuming, right? Especially for a beginner affiliate where they don't have any experience.
Well, I would start with reading the data, because basically we all use trackers. At least most of affiliates use trackers. So you would need to match up data from the traffic source to the tracker and compare those data. Now, given that the tracker and the traffic source are reporting on different time zones, it will be a mess to aggregate statistics manually every day, and based on those statistics, to be able to make decisions and optimize their campaigns. And I'm pretty sure not everyone is a wizard with Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets in order to make that happen in just a few clicks. Yet, having the traffic on, it will be still unreliable to optimize on data you tried 30 minutes earlier or even an hour earlier, in case you have some spikes or something has changed on your campaigns. Even a competitor went out, and you're getting most of the traffic due to a competitive bid or stuff like that. And besides the fact that you have to deal with the data and make actionable decisions to optimize your campaigns, there's still the part of the campaign management where you have to check out the offers, you have to check out the landing pages that you're using, the angles, the creatives. So you have to take care of a lot of components of your campaign simultaneously, and be able to manage and to route the campaign through its desired path of becoming profitable.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this is where I think a lot of beginner affiliates fall in a trap in where they don't have that creativity. They don't understand what data points are. They just assume, hey, I have a spy tool. I bought the spy tool. I put this campaign on a native network and it should be profitable. But when they receive all these data points from like Android devices, Mac OS on Firefox, and with Creative 3 is working, they don't understand where to pick and choose and how to look at their data. And I think that's the most important part when anybody does any type of marketing. And this is what I enjoy about affiliate marketing. It's the data side. It's a fun game for me. And the problem is that, again, like Losid said, there's not enough time. And if I'm doing international offers, then I'm sleeping and sometimes I'm overspending. So there's a tool that actually can help us do this automation and create this stop pause, I guess you can say. But how does one come up with a rule? Is there a baseline rule for any campaign from Google to to native push, right? Or do you have to get raw data first, right, and then decide from there?
So I think there are two approaches to this. The first one would be to, since most of affiliates are working with affiliate networks, and most of them get access to already tested offers where there are some data for those offers. To start with, I would first ask my account manager, affiliate manager, about some basic metrics of the offer. Like, what's the network-wide conversion rate of the offer? What's the EPC for the offer for the network? And if possible, what's the total volume, let's say on a daily basis or weekly basis, the offer is receiving? And on some rare cases where you have a very collaborative affiliate manager, you get to know even the traffic sources this offer is getting most of the traffic from. Now, having this kind of information, it's quite easy to understand and be able to estimate the number of clicks you need to send to the offer, or number of visits you need to send to the offer. And by calculating that, you are able to estimate how many visits on your campaign link or clicks on the ad you need to get, and how many landing page clicks in order to make a specific placements or site profitable or ad profitable based on the conversion rate that the offer is having.
Yes.
So calculating this data back and trying to play around with the data you get from the account manager or affiliate manager of the network, it's way easier than starting from scratch. On the other hand, another approach is to send a first batch of traffic to the offer, then try to see what are the metrics that the campaign is showing, like what's the landing page click-through rate, what's the offer conversion rate if there are any conversions, what is its initial EPC, and still even on the second case, having some type of information from the affiliate manager would be extremely helpful.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is definitely one way to definitely approach it. When I got into marketing and I started learning these numbers, I started going backwards, starting from network EPC, and that's what I would go by. And then I would ask my affiliate manager, "Hey, what is the Facebook overall EPC? What is native EPC? Can you go down to Taboola EPC if you have that information?" And if they don't have that information, it's fine. And some affiliate networks will allow themselves to give that data to you. And there's some that actually do not, right? Just because that their data is proprietary, especially if they're the AOR of a specific product or CPA offer, etc. Right? The way I do it now is I actually just spend like $50 and let the data tell me what's going on, and then I try to figure out what the rule base is. I already have set calculators in my Google Sheets where if there is a CPA of $2, it'll tell me what my EPC should be, how many clicks I should get, at what click I should be converting. But this comes with experience, right? And I've made these semi Excel tools, Google Sheet tools, just to give me a baseline, right?
Yeah,
And if you need a baseline, I think the best way to do it is just buy traffic. And then once you buy traffic, you have to look at it and be like, oh, all of these Firefox browsers is working, you know. So you want to turn off all the other browsers, right? But there's the issue of time again. And if you're running multiple campaigns like I do sometimes and multiple verticals, you just can't concentrate on one niche and then try to optimize on your own. You need either a team or a tool. And with the optimizer, I've been using it, and it actually been working very, very well to a point where sometimes I looked at it and it just works a little too well, you know. So it's pretty cool. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this tool and this automation and why automation is needed for affiliates. And let's start off with, is a tool automation meant for maybe a beginner affiliate, right? Would they understand how to use it right away?
Well, I would say definitely yes, because when I started out, what
Oh,
I
so
ended
you ran
up,
affiliate campaigns yourself too?
of course.
Oh, nice. That's
So
good.
when I started out a few years ago, what I ended up doing, because it was a big nightmare for me to match data from the traffic source and the tracker using Excel spreadsheets. It was easier for me to run an SQL script on a local database on my PC and match up the data.
Mm,
Even in that case, I ended up spending spending a lot of time, and even though I was learning, I would still benefit from an automation tool, and I was yet at the first beginning looking at some ways to automate that part, because I was basically looking for specific patterns of traffic and executing the same process over and over again. So when we first launched, we had lots of new affiliates or newcomers to the affiliate space, and they were somehow concerned that using an automation tool would prevent them from properly understanding how this whole thing works. And they either
wait, can you break
accept.
that down a little bit? What do you mean how they would how what their whole thing was, their whole campaign or
No, the whole learning process of the
learning
affiliate,
process? Okay.
like optimization, when to block something, when to change a bid, and when to
Got
make this type of changes. So uh, most of them were a bit afraid of, and being part of some of the biggest forums, we've seen the case studies or follow alongs where these people ended up spending way too much money on trying to learn things up. So it ended up being a compromise between learning things fast and learning things the manual way, and accept an extra outspend or an extra loss, or prevent or avoid this extra loss and learn things and optimize things quicker. Because when you first start, what's most bothering for many people is the technical side.
correct.
Like, you have to take care, besides the fact that you need to monitor the data and monitor statistics and stuff like that, you will still need to work on landing pages, coding, variations, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Now, for one that doesn't have any experience with coding, it becomes it easily becomes an 18 hours out of 24 to work on a campaign. Imagine if you want to scale up.
Yeah.
Like, if you have an offer that pays out 50 cents, let's say, if we're talking about pop traffic, and it pays out 50 cents or $1 a conversion, you're not going to make much money by the end of the day, even if you have a profitable campaign.
Mm,
Like, you need to have a huge budget on a daily basis, but I hardly doubt any newbie is going to spend $1,000 on a campaign when it's starting out, because even it will go against offer caps, traffic, technical issues, stuff like that. So
yeah.
they will stay on the safe side. While on the other hand, it, it, it's just not enough experience to test them out.
Mhm.
because you need to scale, or one needs to launch many campaigns, see what's sticking, cut the losers, keep the winners, scale them up, and at the same time deal with the communication, deal with creatives,
Yeah.
split testing, learning new things. It's practically impossible. Like I
Yeah.
personally ended up 20 hours on 24
And yeah,
when
there
I
are
start.
days where I actually just like one day would be just dedicated to landing pages, and it's crazy. Like I'll be so into it where I actually don't even have lunch sometimes, right? And that's actually not good. So, but yeah, so for a beginner, I think it's definitely good for them to use a tool, but how do they know what rules to set, right? Let's say, a, let's do a traditional sweep email submit at $2.40, CPA. What kind of
Mhm.
rules should they set off that
So
information alone?
on that information alone, I would start with cutting out placements out of at a maximum of 2 times the CPA.
Mhm.
Is depending on the traffic source. So let's say if we're talking about pop traffic without any landing page, 2 times the payout of the offer would be okay.
Mm.
But
Damn,
ideally,
I
I
go
would
I go 3 times actually, you know?
nah, on a $2.4 payout. It may be a bit too pricey to test.
Mm,
Consider running on Propeller, and you get traffic from at the first day from around
okay.
500 placements. 500 placements on a $50 or $30 daily budget, you won't get enough data to spend 2 times or 3 times the payout of the offer in order to make decisions
Mhm.
without a landing page, especially if you're direct linking. While if you're using a landing page, I would start optimizing based on the landing page. So let's say I'm sending, depending on the traffic source, I'm sending like from 100 to 200 landing page visits without any landing page clicks, and kill any publisher that didn't generate at least one landing page click out of 200 visits or 100 visits.
Yeah, for sure. That is definitely important. And what he's talking about is, let's say you have a landing page prior to the email submit, and you get all these impressions, but there's no clicks, right? You definitely want to turn off those site IDs, widgets, sources, targets, whatever traffickers are on. They all have different meaning, but typically it's the site ID, and then if those site IDs match up to a publisher ID, which is technically the owners of all these websites, you just want to turn them off throughout, just because there's no clicks that's coming through, and they could just be bad bullshit websites, right? So
Yeah, you're just buying trash.
yeah,
In that
exactly.
situation, you're just buying trash. So it doesn't make sense keeping them on.
Correct. Yeah. So now with automation, now the optimizer is not a campaign manager. Besides where you can um, handle creatives, right? Where I think on native you guys have it, right? Not on the mobile side.
Yeah, what happened? The strange thing, and that's on 2 sides. So the first one, when we launched the mobile version, which takes care of pop redirect and push traffic, it was on the same timing when Google declared where to pop traffic.
Ah, okay.
So there was this huge scare of pop traffic getting out of the market, not being able to run pop campaigns anymore. But it's as of now, it's more than 1.5 year from that period, or maybe even 2 years, that pop traffic is still driving pretty strong. And if we're talking about push traffic, which some call the new pop traffic,
Yeah.
most of those subscribers and of push traffic came from pop traffic, because it was the cheapest way to get people to subscribe to push feeds and be able to monetize that audience. On the other hand, what's happening is that most of the pop sources or push sources are pretty uh, pretty undeveloped in terms of API. Like their API
Oh, yeah.
doesn't allow them. to make much more changes compared to what the native traffic sources allow, because they have a more complete technical uh, development of their API system. So
Well, I mean,
um,
it's not even that. I
based on
think native also has a really good, strong backend for even like retargeting, you know. So
yeah, retargeting as well, but mostly when we're talking about campaign management through third-party tools and platforms like the Optimizer, uh, we need like the system needs a reliable endpoint where to send comments, get reports, acknowledge if the changes were made or not, push a new campaign and stuff like that. Like we wanted to introduce operating system optimization for POPs.
mhm.
Like we spent quite some time on that like a year ago, and it was quite unreliable, and that mostly because of the API capabilities of the traffic sources, that it made it impossible to offer that type of optimization on our platform for all the traffic sources, if
Yeah,
not all, at least a few of them. But by the end of the day, it would end up just a waste of time. And as you know, developers don't come cheap.
yeah, you know, for sure. Yeah,
And by the end of the day, if something wrong was going to happen, the blame would be on us and
yeah, that
not
is
the traffic source.
yeah, correct. Because
So
it's
that
me using your system and then complaining, not be like, hey, and we won't. Especially people that don't understand technical stuff, they would,
yeah,
you know, they want to assume like, oh, it's Propeller's API, it's you know, even Dev's API or whatever, right? So
even with what we have, there are there's quite a huge list of issues that most of traffic sources, especially on pubs, have. So that's why we decided to focus on the native, because it's on the other hand, it's an increasing traffic. There's an increase in terms of interest about native traffic, and there you have quite more options in terms of selling a more serious product.
that is true. Yeah.
Take care of the funnel, like play with more reliable variables, test out things in a more serious way compared to pop traffic.
Yeah, I agree. I think native is going to be like almost like a tier one traffic. I still consider native like a tier two, tier three traffic. Not so much like a pop or push, but incomparable to almost like when Google or Facebook first started their system. I mean, Taboola and Outbrain's merge is one sign that native is going to be a huge traffic source for a lot of affiliates and marketers to use, just because it can be information based only, where news publications can just use it to promote, and it can be also for affiliates, right? But obviously,
Yeah.
it's very strict guidelines. I know through Taboola alone and Outbrain, they really have strict guidelines. So, um, yeah,
What we've seen with native is that some of the guys that used to run, some people that used to run quite heavily on Facebook, that due to their policy changes, they were forced to clock,
yeah,
and dealing with account banning. Like you would turn on a campaign, and next morning when you wake up, you just find out that your account was banned.
yeah, and this is the reason why I stay shy away from like Facebook, just because it is too complicated, and I'd rather have, and I do have several accounts still, but I really want to save them for something very, very straight, clean. You know, if I'm doing some of these affiliate offers that are a little sketchy, then I definitely go with the pop and push side of things. You know,
Yeah, you would need to have a proper brand. Even on those cases, you may get into trouble with Facebook.
yeah,
While on native it's a totally different story. Like
yeah,
once they see that you spend, they will be available for anything. Like give you access to API, tell you what's hot and what's not, what creatives are running, especially if you get a good account manager.
yeah. I
And
mean, like even like yeah,
strange thing what's happening now is that Tabura and Outbrain are turning back are getting back to affiliates,
oh,
because
yeah,
most of the brands stop their ad spend on native, and they're trying to get affiliates back on board. Like they're asking like what do you have access to, like check out this software because it's performing really well on our network, check out this other one if you need an account manager, we're available and stuff like that. So
Yeah, no, I agree. Like when I was working with MGID, they basically opened up their back end to me and they're like, hey, push this, promote this, this where you need to put, here's your whitelist. If you want us to open up the blacklist a little bit, tell us. You know, they're very, very open for sure, but they're also very, very, I think, strict on like, if you like, I know on MJD you can't have like monetizer links on there. It has to be specifically straight to the page. There needs to be at least a mini site on top of it as well. So, I mean, this is the reason why I think it's like a tier two. It's almost like a Google, Facebook, but just enough to be like a push or pop, you know. So, but let's get into finish off with just like talking about automation. And now we're automation based on rules. And we're getting this whole universe and marketing is now getting into machine learning, AI. And do you think you guys are going in the direction? I know when I spoke to Besmir, you guys first had something in development. And let's see, like, can you update on that a little bit?
yeah, so we when when the project started, we right from the beginning we were working on a proprietary mathematical calculation. Like it wasn't an AI because for the time being, when we started out, it showed up some problems that weren't giving reliable results, or maybe it was too early for AI to take in consideration bids, publisher performance, landing page click-through rate, specific landing pages, specific offers and stuff like that. When you're trying to bring all the variables in one place and decide what to focus on. So we discontinued, even though we worked quite a lot on that project. We discontinued that, and as we're speaking, we are on the finalization stage of our machine learning module.
Hmm.
It's not ready yet, as it's currently under testing. But the good thing of it is that it will be able to build the optimization strategy uh, based on a specific traffic source and based on a specific funnel or offer. Because you when seeing different traffic sources individually, we end up getting a mixed set of optimization approaches. Like
Sure. Yeah.
you differently optimize Taboola, you differently optimize Outbrain, you differently optimize Rev Content, as as well as you have different components on their campaign structure. So you have sites and ads on Taboola, you have sections, widgets, and ads on Outbrain, and their bidding hierarchy is different from each other. Different goes on Rev Content, let's say, where you have widgets and targeting categories,
Yep.
or if they introduce another variable like zip targeting or stuff like that,
Yeah.
or if we're talking about Yahoo Gemini, where you have sites, you have domains, you have uh, publisher groups and stuff like that. So there are quite a lot of different variables for each of the traffic sources, and quite honestly, they need to be considered separately. Like
Yeah. I
there's no
agree.
one size fits all, and that's why we are taking a bit more time into testing out our machine learning auto optimization, which will end up taking out the need of creating rules, even though our users will still have the ability to create rules like they do now. But they will have also the option to turn on the auto optimization after the learning phase, like you do on Facebook. You let the campaign for some time to start its learning stage. Then once the learning stage is over, the system will automatically optimize the campaign.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now that's pretty cool that it will do that. And I had something similar in the past that I've had, but I mean, data gets pretty expensive, and paying data scientists is expensive. But with this machine learning and AI for marketing, do you think marketers like affiliates that are doing the CPA offers or doing direct advertising for ad agencies will be of the past, or will it be an assisted AI machine learning with the affiliate or online marketer on hand?
Well, I don't think it will set affiliate marketers aside or media buyers whatsoever, because on the same on this at the same time, I don't think there's any service or AI or machine learning out there that's able to write copy as one should, like humanly written copies or content.
Yeah.
And on that end, like a system or a machine is not able to judge if an ad looks good to a human eye, or if a headline looks appealing or not, or the offer is matching the content is matching the offer, and vice versa. So it will still be quite a lot of room for manual uh, affiliate tasks to be done.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of cutting out the time one spends on managing their campaigns. Because as we know, by the end of the day, the one who's able to scale up campaigns and launch as many campaigns as possible is able to get to those sweet 7 to 8 figures
Yeah.
of profit that everyone is dreaming of. So
Yeah. And
unless you
that's also the
launch,
hardest part, scaling for sure.
yeah,
So
and
so
unless you launch hundreds of campaigns, you won't get there anytime soon.
I
So
mean, I used to have a team used like with 5 marketers to just do creatives on landing page. It was just I mean, for me, it was just a headache to manage people, and let alone looking at my campaigns. And it's the reason why I always fall back to being a single layer affiliate, just because I think I know what I'm doing. I think I do it much faster, but that's just my ego sometimes. So, but
sometimes
so
it takes more time to explain people what to do than rather do it yourself.
yeah, I totally agree. There's sometimes when I get a landing page created from like Fiverr, I'm like, oh no, I kind of want it like this. I told you to look like this, but then they do their own take on it. But so yeah, so that's really it. Thank you for discussing this and automation and why it's needed and the future of AI and machine learning for these rule set marketing campaigns that we do as affiliates. So, Losid, thank you again. If you have any other statements to say, go ahead and say so.
Thank you, Jan, for today's interview. Actually, I'm not sure if you but yeah, you should know already that we have launched a new landing page building tool.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
It's called LandHub,
Someone
and along
someone in
with
the Adventures group actually asked if it was your tool, and I I knew it was your tool. Is it an extension of Optimizer, and will it integrate in itself?
well, actually, for now we're still in beta.
Yeah,
Maybe in the near future, based on how the developments go, we will integrate together and let both systems talk to each other. But it's already pretty soon to say that,
yeah,
because we're just out of the beta, uh, still in the beta period of the product. But what's good about Lander Lab for now is that it is simple. Like it
very
has
simple.
it's simple. Like we have people asking about MVT, multivariate testing, and stuff like that. But as of now, it fulfills most affiliates' needs, like
Yeah,
creating a landing page, get rid of hosting, not to get away or stay away from WordPress, which tends to be a, a
sometimes
bug
so.
whore when it comes to security issues,
Yeah,
especially as well as performance side of things. So yeah, it's once you get the automatic rules and the automation playing for you, you can spend enough time on tweaking landing pages and making the changes that can literally twice or increase the performance of your campaigns by 100%.
Yeah, and the best thing about it is the Lander Lab actually has like a ton of templates, like from finance to the sweeps, gamified landers to single videos to so what every ad spy tool out there that shows you a lander, you guys look like have every aspect or a template of it. So and it
Yeah,
seems like you guys are always uploading something new too.
yeah. So we have created a starting template library from what's been around on spy tools, like the mainstream templates of the landing pages. Also, we have a direct integration with Perplexity,
Mm,
and there we're talking about Perplexity native, mobile, as well as adult, if I'm not wrong, where you can directly import the landing page with one click from Perplexity, without having to download it locally on your PC. You can edit the code if you need to clean out the mess of other affiliates or any sneaky code pieces of code, as well as change the landing page clicks and tracking links to your own. So it's like a ready to go product for most of affiliates, especially the new ones. Even though most of our heavy users, as we're speaking, are long time affiliates
mhm.
that that are cutting out the maintenance cost on the servers where they used to host the landing pages, and
Yeah, it just makes
everything
it
is
yeah, it just definitely makes it easier. Most of my landing pages are on Vulture right now, and I have to log into my FTP or Atom FTP and edit it. This one, I just pick a template, I edit the text, and that's pretty much it. You know,
yeah.
so
It comes with a visual builder and everything that one needs to get started with landing pages. Even do some advanced stuff if you know code. If one knows coding, can
but
open
yeah,
the
I
code
mean,
editor.
I've used the templates and I've added my JavaScript's back button redirects in there. I've done the on-click pops on there as well. I have a set timer if nobody interacts with the landing page, right? So it's pretty easy. I mean, it definitely removes 90% of technicality, and then there's that maybe 10% where if you want to add in your other code like your JavaScripts or then that is some skill sets you should have. I think a little bit, but it removes the hosting and if you want to destroy the page because you think a spy tool might see it, boom, destroy it, and it's easy. So
It helps even those affiliates who out of the fear of dealing with landing pages just skip them out.
yeah.
And I've had cases where just doing some small tweaks or customizations to the landing page, it literally doubles the performance of the offer.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It turned out the campaign from a big loser like minus 60% up to at the beginning like 10% positive ROI, just with a few small changes like showing dynamic content based on the locations,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
calling out location based on using our trackers data and stuff like that. So it's literally something that one shouldn't skip.
I totally agree. And this is again, this is all based on data, guys, right? And this is where the tools comes in to look at your data and be like, hey, I can use this piece of data, put on my landing page, and get the user to encourage or engage with your landing pages more. And so this went from a optimization conversation to definitely more data, which they basically are like this. You can't have one without the other, right? So
Yeah, definitely. Because if you have a bad landing page, you end up killing good publishers just
yeah,
out of poor performance of the landing page, because these are all related to each other.
yeah, correct. I mean, there are times where I'll turn unblacklist and re-blacklist just in case with a new change, just because
Yeah,
you just don't know. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
yeah. So again, thank you, Losid, for having a conversation with me, guys. If you have any comments or questions for him for theOptimizer or Lander Lab, you can go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll go ahead and forward it to him as well. And if you're in the Adventures Online Slack group, he's there participating in almost every question based on optimization and landing pages as well. So again, thank you for having this conversation, and we'll
Thank
talk.
you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Bye bye.